translated from Japanese and English kind of roughly into the way of the sword. It is a martial art, yes, but it is not a martial art in the sense of that it is a self-defense type martial art that you see in other types of arts, like karate and judo. They emphasize a lot of self-defense. Kendo is more of a cultural and a cultural pursuit in Japanese arts. And what the goal of Kendo is to mold the mind, the body, and the spirit of the individual. And we emphasize a lot on etiquette, manners, proper technique, and things like that. So when you see a person in a match, they're not going to be, if they win a match, they're not going to be jumping up and down and jumping into the crowds and going for autographs and things like that. It's supposed to be a very honorable and it's supposed to be very humble type of art. Kendo started off, no one really knows when Kendo started. However, a lot of people think that it's this ancient art that the samurai used to practice. That's not really true. It's just, it's one of it's an offshoot of the sword arts, of many sword arts that the Japanese used to practice back in the old days. And it evolved from the days when the samurai used to actually practice with each other, and they found out they weren't getting a lot of their students back because they would end up dying from a cut with a sword. So they decided, well, how can we make this a little bit easier to keep our students coming back? And that's kind of how Kendo got started. Now we have the protective equipment and the bamboo sword. Sam, can you stand up, please, and bring your equipment with you? Sam is going to be demonstrating or showing off some of the equipment that we use in Kendo. Okay, Sam didn't bring her bamboo sword or the shinai, but that's what we use to technically cut each other with. It looks like we're hitting, but the actual technique is a cutting technique. Alright, she's going to go get it for us now. Okay, the shinai is actually composed of 4 staves of bamboo come together with leather. Okay, and this end here, this is it's called the ska, or the area where they hold the shinai. Okay, the tsuba is the guard, and this is the bladed area. There's a string on top holding everything together with the leather. That's considered, the string side is considered the dull side, and the opposite side is considered the sharpened end. Alright, this is called the men. This is the head protector and the face protector. There's also a piece in the front that's a throat protector. There is a technique where, and we'll show that to you later, where there's a thrust to the throat. But one of the target areas that we hit is going to be on top of the men, and that's obviously called men. Okay. These gauntlet-type gloves are called the kote. And this is another target area where we hit right here. You'll be able to hear it when they hit it. It's kind of a popping sound. These pieces of equipment, there's not a whole lot of padding to them. It's just really heavy cotton material, tightly woven, and that's basically the only protection. But if you hit it right and they're ready for it, it really doesn't hurt that bad. It's going to look like it hurts, but it really doesn't. Okay. Okay, the next piece is the abdomen protector or the torso protector. This is called a do. The less expensive ones are made out of fiberglass or some type of plastic. The really expensive ones, like Mr. Mark has, is made out of bamboo with a very fancy, very high quality lacquer. The tare is kind of the groin protector. It's also an area where obviously we can put the name tag identifying from the dojo, the name written in kanji, which is the Japanese letter, or the Chinese letters actually, and then the English form of the letter. And then the hakama, keikogi, which is the uniform. The top is the keikogi. It's much like what you see in other martial arts, very heavy woven cotton. And that absorbs some of the blows that you get hit by with shinai, because we do this every so often. And then the bottom is kind of a pants type of skirt, and that's called a hakama. And that's designed, actually it makes Kendo look a lot more fluid and a lot more graceful, but it also hides the movement of the feet, and the feet are key to Kendo. So, and that's why we want to be able to hide what the feet are doing before you move. Okay, thank you, Sam. I think she did a good job, don't you? We're going to start off with our kata. Because we use a bamboo sword, we really don't get a real feel of how to use a sword. And so we do kata, which are forms. There are 10 forms of kata, 7 with a long sword, 3 with a short sword. We're just going to do the long sword one, so Mr. Park and Mrs. Chen are going to be doing the 7 forms. Now you're probably wondering why Mr. Park is the one always losing. Well, when we're doing kata, we have what we call uchidachi, which is the instructor side, and the shidachi, which is what Ms. Chen is doing. She's the student side. And the idea is that the uchidachi is supposed to be teaching the shidachi these different techniques. And now we're going to go into the Kendo part of it. And our group is going to be breaking up into 4 groups of 4 pairs. And they're going to be basically going what we go through during our practice.